Hello, today is February 3 and Sean Howard
Yep.
um, letting me to show me how to operate the CTX100.
All right. So first off, back here is you got your presence presence platform. So you're gonna stand on this. This is a chariot form, so everything goes around you. So you're protected on all sides. Both of these on both sides of your fuel tanks. So there's
Alright.
two fuel tanks that feed back to do the same thing. If you fill up one side, it will transfer to the other side because there's a line between them. So if you only can reach one side, just fill up one. It'll transfer to the other side.
Okay,
Fill
okay.
up both. Fill up both. You only have one gauge on this side. This side doesn't have a gauge on it. So
Alright.
you have your key right here. If you go to the first turn, that's
Yeah.
gonna just be your preheat, and then turn it over. If you turn it over, it'll say wait the throttle. That's just giving it time to warm up internally. Once it goes away, it'll go away. It'll say wait the throttle. Once that goes away, you can throttle up right here.
Okay.
So on our machine, the left stick is all your track movements. Left, right, forward, back is all on this one stick. On your right one, this is all your arm controls. So up and down is your arm up and down, and then right and left is your tilt.
Okay.
This one right here, this is for your hydraulic. This is for your high flow. So anything with a hydraulic motor, you're gonna use this one. And that you'll know it by the bigger hoses on the right side. That's your high flow. And the smaller hoses on the left, with your grapple, you'll hook onto those ones, and this will control by this. That way when you're driving, you can open and close it while you're driving like this.
Okay.
This is the bull horns. You just hold on to this,
Okay.
control everything as such, and then you can open and close here. On the other way you can tell the difference between low flow and high flow is you have a detent on this one, so it stays back. This one doesn't. This is just once you let off, it jumps right back in the middle. So on this machine, also too, is you have, if the battery dies in this thing, you have a jumper port right here.
Okay.
You just pull this off, your power port right here. So put your hot right here, and then you can ground it out to any ground bolts, and then you can jump it from outside the machine, so you don't have to try to get into the battery.
Alright.
And then if you come around to this side too,
Yeah.
you
And
run that.
all this you're gonna tell me about.
Yeah,
this,
I'll
right?
get to all that. I'm just gonna go around and jump. This is the other thing. If you break down at all, or if you run out of fuel, this is your primer pump. So
Okay.
you just prime right here, and then once you put the fuel in, you prime it right here, push the button right here, and you'll get it back up and going.
Okay.
So going back over this side. On your tracks, this is how you tighten your tracks right here. So if you lose a track, you'll just loosen this bolt up, and then this comes off. This is just like a crown nut. So you pull that whole thing off, and then you'll tighten it. This is an 1/8" bolt. You'll tighten it or loosen it with this.
Okay.
And so all it is just a bolt that brings this back, and then you'll loosen it up, throw it back on there, tighten this back up, you're ready to go.
Okay.
So how I would say to do it is, if you have a bucket on, you put your bucket down on the ground, and then there's a bar right here. If you can get a chunk of wood that goes right under this bar, push your bucket down, it'll stand the one side up that you have down.
Okay.
So that way you can lift the side up, get the track on, put it back on. Once you get your track back on, cut that off in a minute.
Okay.
There's a little gauge. It's zip tied on there right now. So I'll show you that. So this is your high flow connection. So it'll be the same connection as the low flow on both high and low. The bigger one right here, this is your high flow. This is going to be for, say if you put a flail mower or you get anything, trencher, that'll all go on this side.
Okay.
Your low flow, the grapple, it'll go on this side.
Okay.
When you're putting the grapple on, make sure you get on the machine. You're going to just click to the first position on this. You're not going to turn it on, and you're going to bleed out all the hydraulics just
Yeah,
by
they do.
moving them back and forth. Once you do that, you can turn it back off, and then you'll be able to go and you'll push it on, and it should go on there pretty easy.
Okay.
If you still can't get it on like say on this one, because if you let it sit in the sun and it builds up pressure inside there, try to put it on this one,
Okay.
and then that'll bleed the pressure out of that, and then you can put it back on this one.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Yes, yes.
Just so you're bleeding the pressure out of that through this system, because this one, it'll bleed itself out. This one, we don't have that on there just because it's a low pressure system. So do that on there, and it'll hook into there better.
All right.
Right here on this is how you attach each piece of equipment. It's just like the ditch witch, the Toro.
Yeah.
You just twist these, and
Yeah.
it'll pull the pin out of the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you angle it out and bring it back out.
Yeah.
Put it back in there, twist these back close, lock it back in.
Okay.
You can use if you find attachments from Dingo, Ditch Witch, any of those, you can use this on here. If you find a Bobcat attachment for cheap that you want to get something, we have adapter plates that you can put on this, and you can hook it up to a Bobcat adapter.
How many hours right now?
On this machine?
Yeah.
This one just came in off a truck, so it's got nothing. It's
Nothing.
got like 1 hour.
1 hour.
Just from doing the stuff on, bringing it in, loaded on a truck. Yeah, you have 1.4 hours.
Okay.
That's just from loading on truck, unloading.
All right.
And then, other than that, this is your presence platform, operator presence platform. When you're not on that, these aren't going to work. So once you get on it, everything works.
Okay.
Once you step off, it also there's a little pin that pops out right here. This comes out, and that's just your e-brake.
E-brake.
So it comes out, so if you're on a hill, it won't stop it from moving. And so the other thing is if you're going down a hill and it stops you, just back up a little bit and go forward afterwards, because that way this pin will suck in and it'll get out of the way. Other than that, your grease points are going to be all these pins right here. So you're going to want to grease right here, in here.
And then it will say right here, every 10 hours.
Exactly. Another thing that's different with this machine than, say, Ditch Witch is this is a vertical lift, and that's why you have this extra bar. So when this comes up, this will stand up, and it'll come straight up and down.
Okay.
So it doesn't come back over your machine.
Okay. Yeah, the boxer we use from the Home Depot is just from here.
Oh yeah.
Like not too long.
Right.
But now it's different.
Yeah. Yep. This is definitely big and strong though. You're going to be lifting at full height. You're going to be up about 1,035 pounds.
Yeah.
Down here, you can do about 1,700 pounds.
Yeah. All my friends from landscaping, they've been thought about twice to buy this kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
But they've been asking me, hey, did you get it? You know, because they're on the way to buy one. It's just that they don't get convinced, you know.
Right.
So I want to get them convinced.
Yeah.
Well,
and the hard thing right now is, like you found out last week. I mean, luckily we had these two coming in. It's just they're far and few between right now. Getting off the truck, getting it. Well, right now we have snowstorms and all that stuff.
Right.
So getting over here. So luckily this thing got in here.